Today I'm going to be comparing this Pioneer Woman knife with this knife from Gibson. Now, as you can see here, this Gibson is already starting to show signs of its age, and that's because we've had it considerably longer than this Pioneer Woman knife. Now, one thing that I actually like about this Gibson knife is how light it is. So this is an incredibly lightweight knife that you can easily handle, it can easily maneuver, and it is designed to just be really lightweight. The Pioneer Woman one, however, is incredibly heavy. It's the exact opposite of this Gibson knife. Now, some people prefer a heavier knife as they believe that it has more quality, and I'll agree with that in this case. The Pioneer Woman is a much higher quality knife. You can see here that the knife blade and then the tang is going to run all the way through this entire knife handle here, and then the handles are just riveted to it. Whereas the Gibson is just going to have this little plastic handle. The knife blade probably only runs, or the tang probably only runs maybe half inch or an inch into this, I'm going to guess, and then it's glued or molded. So this is a better quality knife, but it is really heavy. So I'm not a huge fan of how heavy this Pioneer Woman knife is when compared to this Gibson knife. Now, neither of these are going to come extremely sharp from the manufacturer, so just something to keep in mind. You will probably want to sharpen them up when you first get both of these options. Just something that you'll want to consider. I also like how much longer the handle is on this Pioneer Woman knife. So you can see here, my hand is easily going to fit around that without any issue. Whereas with the Gibson knife, my pinky is going to kind of hang off on the end. Doesn't have much movement on the handle either, so it's not going to easily keep your fingers in. Whereas on this Pioneer Woman one, you can see here has the curve, going to come up and then curve back here at the bottom to easily keep your fingers on. And since it's a longer handle, then you can adjust your fingers up or down depending on where you feel comfortable in the grip. You can even spread them apart a little bit or move them around, that sort of a thing. So both of these are good options. If I had to choose one over the other, I would choose the Pioneer Woman one. So because I prefer the tang that runs all the way through the handle, you can see it. I'm not a huge fan of the actual weight of the Pioneer Woman one, but compared to the Gibson, I feel like it is definitely a better choice.